Ooh, what's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, is Nestlemania alongside for the riders, a man that is always in control, even when he has my blood on his hands, JC.
We're going to get to that Nestlemania, but happy Wrestlemania week. Kind of thrown off a little bit. It's a week later this week. Usually it's Masters week and Wrestlemania week, and I'm kind of on sensory overload, but instead we have the kickoff of the NBA season and Wrestlemania, or postseason and NBA playoff weeks. The Masters, congratulations, my guy, Rory McIlroy, getting that Grand Slam, baby. My boy winning me some money too. He's a stud, but we're here to talk about wrestling Nestlemania, and I'm fired up. Are you fired up?
I am fired up. I don't know if the show's got me fired up, but I'm fired up for Mania season.
I feel like every year we say that, but this show is fucking great. It's stacked. We're going to go through the whole card later. We're not even just going to give our predictions. We are going to give in-depth breakdowns to every match, our super hot fire excitometers and with flames and all this bullshit. But we got to fly through the rest of this shit first. But we're going to get there. And don't worry, we'll hit NXT at the end. We're hoping we have more of the card filled out by the time we get there at the end of the show, because there's a lot of number one contender matches tonight. But we're going to hit it all, baby, because it is a big week.
And of course, we have to talk about everything in this program. Probably not AEW. We'll see, but maybe.
Fuck AEW. We're AEW free this week. Mariah May don't want to be there. I don't want to be there either.
All right, fine. Anyway, where do we start, JC?
We start always in the Shine Nestlemania. That is where Cody Rhodes resides. And I mean, look, he had a promo this week. Wasn't much. I just that's my name this week because it's Cody week. Wrestlemania is now Cody week. We got Cody Cena. I'm so excited. But no, I want to start the Shine Nestlemania with there were two things that were awesome that happened on Monday. One was Braun Breaker's double spear, which was fucking great. This guy every week continues to just make this spear better and better. Best spear of all time. Best spear in the business. Not even close. Sorry, Roman. You should give up the spear because Braun Breaker does it better. But the other thing, Nestlemania, I think Gunther cut the greatest promo he's ever cut on Monday Night Raw. I do. Because I saw people were obsessed with it. And I'm like, all right, I got to see this thing. But he channeled something, especially in this feud with Jey Uso, because he obviously with the Jimmy stuff really turned it up, but it's been a lot of more like Gunther, a little more like personality, loose. He dialed into that Reign General, evil, final boss type heel in this promo where it was like, okay, this motherfucker's taking it serious now. And in his world, he thinks he can beat Jey Uso in fucking 10 seconds at WrestleMania. And he made me believe it. But I just think when I look at his growth, because I think he's always been a pretty decent promo, but what he's become, I think, especially the past year, his evolution in the promo, it's just man, I think he's becoming one of the best, which is, I don't think something we expected from a guy who is so about inside the ring, but his embrace, the past couple of years of the WWE style, and he's just taken it. And I think he just continues to elevate himself.
I did really love the whole thing about he was in control the whole time. I thought that was very nice. I thought that was a nice little thing there. And I'm my 37 years, I've never lost control and I'm always in control. And there's something very interesting about saying that to me, because I don't believe it. I know he's probably saying it in character to try to believe it as his character, which is wonderful. But then that Jey Uso thing came out, and I'm like, okay, clearly he had to come out and do whatever. But again, that was really more of a nothing.
This was useless.
Yeah. So it was just really, really tough, because all I kept thinking about was, this is tough. A 10-week stretch is a tough stretch for a wrestling fan. It's got to be hard on the creative too. So I was kind of hoping for some type of climax here. I feel like,
and I feel like they already did that though, don't you think, with the Jimmy stuff?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If the Jimmy stuff had happened a week later, and then the I'm Not Afraid of You led into WrestleMania, I think that would have been the peak for me. See,
I kind of like this because, like you said, this feud has been going on forever, and honestly, they far exceeded my expectations in terms of build up week to week. Because I think we both kind of expected it to kind of be more like the other Royal Rumble winner, which we'll probably talk about later. This one wasn't. This one's been good, and I kind of like that they had the big thing a few weeks ago, so then they can let us just kind of come down. And I think this week, what was important to me, because I think Jay really got what he needed last week, but it was I think, going into it, especially if he thinks Jay's going to win, I think Gunther had to set that tone to get himself back on top and believable and remind us that, no, I am the unbeatable fucking Reign General. I've already beat this fucking loser 3 times and I'm going to do it again.
Fair enough. Like I said, Gunther is interesting. When he said 80% of my life here in WWE has been a champion, I'm like, well, that's a cool stat.
It is.
I mean, I don't think anybody
and
else.
Most of that 20% was in NXT when he didn't have a title, which is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy though. Like
Yeah.
that's who he is. Unfortunately, I'll be curious to see what happens in WrestleMania because I don't know how this is going to shake out. I mean, in my head, it seems like a foregone conclusion for one way, but there is a part of me that's just like, nah, they'll fuck him again.
Here's the thing: if it kicks off the night, there's a chance they can do anything because if they want to start it on a sour note, they got fucking 13 more matches over 2 days to get that taste out of your mouth. So if they want to do it, they could do it.
Give me a Doc and JC episode of The Knocker. I don't think JC wants the controls of this thing. I'll be honest.
I don't think I've had control of this thing since we did. No, maybe I did like early on one time with video, but it's been a while. Nestle isn't taking any vacations or anything.
Just the no days off. That's what I am, baby. I'm fucking Cal Ripken Jr. of this place. That is what it is.
Good for you.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Reliable. What can I say? Anyway, what else did you like this week, JC?
Oh, that's it for Raw. So we can go to SmackDown. I mean, I did like the Cody promo. I like all Cody promos because he's a stud. But what I did love Nestlemania is Miz and Mello. And I love that they're declaring themselves for the tag titles. And I do like that Miz brought up that it's a slap in the face that those things aren't being defended at WrestleMania. I like that because it's true. I think we agree. That's bullshit. We'll probably hit on that more in the heat. But I like that we had this promo because I feel like the Profits, for the most part, have taken care of a lot of these teams, and obviously they're going to face Motor City Machine Guns on Friday on SmackDown, which that'll probably be the main event, which I think we kind of discussed like in our chat. Like they treat that SmackDown where it's like instead of doing a WrestleMania pre-show with matches, they just do them on the Friday before. That's where the Battle Royal is and stuff. But it is. Miz is 100% right. That is a slap in the face, and I love that they addressed it. And I just love that even though like the Profits have already had all these other contenders, I love that Miz and Mello have put themselves in line. And it's just one of those where it's like, man, could there be a world, Nestlemania, where the Profits defeat Motor City Machine Guns on Friday? And since we're probably going to get Randy Orton added to one of the nights, that maybe there's a world where the Profits take on Mello and Miz on Mania, because it's not very often that the Miz is left off WrestleMania too. I mean, one year they put him in as a host. Was that last year? Just to make sure he was 2
years ago when Shane McMahon did the quad.
That's right. Yeah, because it's just one of those where he should be on the show. So it is kind of weird. So that kind of got me thinking like, I guess they could do it. They'll probably save it. But I was just like, I like that this promo happened because I think we all shared the same frustration being like, this is the hotter tag division. WWE has worked their ass off to reinvent the tag division the best they can with all these teams. And now we just only have one of them being defended on Mania. And it's not the one that has like the team that is red hot. So I like that this promo happened, and I love the fact that Mello and Miz are all in as being a tag team.
Okay. It's interesting to me when you were saying like they're rebuilding the tag division because
they've been trying for like a year, and then we get here and they just fucking like, forget about it.
My question to you is, Triple H is very much harping on the like only the best stories get to certain things. I don't think the best stories are happening with this tag team on SmackDown. Like the conspiracy thing with DIY is whatever, but like the rest of it is like, I don't know. It's just like we all beat each other, and then like, it is what it is.
You know that best story thing is bullshit because the women's tag titles are fucking random because we have to get Liv on Mania. We have to get Bayley and Lyra on Mania. So we're just going to do a tag team match, even though Lyra was a singles champion and was, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
he's talking out of both sides of his mouth, which is whatever. There's a bunch of matches at WrestleMania and you try to make a balanced card. It was just unfortunate to me that there's two titles on SmackDown that I think is very unfortunate on WrestleMania. And these are one of them.
Chelsea Green as well. That's all.
That's the other one I was alluding to.
Yeah, I know. I just love Chelsea Green. I think, God damn it, if there's ever a person that should be doing anything, that's her. Like she just makes fucking chicken salad.
And who knows? Maybe the same thing I just said about the tag titles. Maybe out of that 6-woman tag on Friday, we get Chelsea and Zelina as a throw-in on one of the Mania nights. But it
amazes me that Trish Stratus doesn't weasel her way into WrestleMania against Chelsea Green or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just seems like Canadian versus Canadian.
They already had her moment at Chamber.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, you can find time because, like, here's the thing, and I don't. It's not a negative. It's just it's a point of view for me. I love WrestleMania for the grand like entrances and the awesome little things that happen in between the matches and stuff like that, which is amazing. Like the moments are what make WrestleMania. But you can't tell me that you can't cut something. You know what I mean?
My guess is Chelsea's probably going to have one of those moments of some kind, and that's how they'll do it with her. But I mean, look, and there's obviously going to be a Travis Scott concert, but that's part of what WrestleMania is, Nestlemania. It's like, yes, it is the granddaddy of them all, and it's like the season finale for wrestling, but it's also the biggest show of the year. And when show comes in, there's a lot of show in there too. So
Well, definitely the show, heavy on the show there, not the big
Yep.
show. Anything else that's positive for you?
I mean, Phoenix wrestled again. That's a positive, and I am intrigued by. I mean, Triple H loves just having like the all Latino storylines, but it just like honestly, like the hottest feuds because I love it's like one of those things. It's like, oh, Santos is mad at his boy, and it's time to be more like Phoenix and showing him respect. But then we also have Andrade looking as well, so I'm just like, man, Triple H just loves the thing. It's just like the bloodline flirting with the bloodline, and now it's you know what I mean. But it's I am enjoying it. Again, it's one of those extra like TV storylines that isn't part of WrestleMania, but that was kind of what I was like enjoying the most this week because it's just like, look, WrestleMania is going to be WrestleMania, but I like that there's these little things that'll be going on past WrestleMania for some of these guys. And I mean, look, Phoenix is so dynamic. I just love watching him wrestle, so that had to be shine for me.
Well, look, there's a lot about Ray Phoenix that we can talk about. I just love watching that spin back kick in the corner. When he does the spin kick, I was just like, not many people can do that move correctly and make it look good. I used to love when the 1-2-3 used to do it, 1-2-3 kid, but he wouldn't jump up in the second turnbuckle the way Ray Phoenix did. But man, it was something else, just unbelievable. I am curious. We had our boy Stoop in the house saying, or was it Stoop? No, I'm sorry. Well, Stoop is in the house. Thank you for coming, Stoop. The Lucha Bro is getting the straps from our boy, the Backcracker. I mean,
patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
You don't need to rush that shit. Like Penta's on fire as a singles. Ray's having a good debut. Look, they're probably gonna have a draft post Mania. I would think the NFL drafts next week. So I'm assuming we'll have a WWE draft very soon thereafter because it'll be in the news. But so they could put them back together, but I don't think there's any need to rush it because that's always gonna be there. And yes, they'll give a jolt to the tag team division at some point, but it's just like they're struggling with the tag teams anyways. So I don't want to rush them to be putting that. Let these guys continue to establish themselves as stars. Milk that for what it's got. And then when it's one of those, when the kind of newishness of them wears off, that's when you stick them together and they'll be like a new car again. So it's just patience with that kind of stuff. I don't think we need to rush it.
He just said, I rush everything. Ask my wife.
Well,
well, it is what it is.
You know what he didn't rush? Doc hosted an incredible Masters party on Saturday. That was a blast.
I'm still.
I ate a lot of pimento. It was fun. He made wings. Like what a guy.
Yeah, he's a good host. I'll tell you that much. Not necessarily a good co-host for the podcast, but he's a good host for food. Anyway, I also agree with my boy, the Joe Stopper here, saying that I also hate Ray Phoenix's music.
It's not great. It's not great.
There's something about it. It just feels much like a garbage disposal, like it just feels like Garage Band is really just taking these themes over, and it's not like I think that's the thing. Like we were so conditioned as kids in the 90s and 2000s when you heard that like first 3 seconds or that first guitar riff or whatever that noise was, you just knew. Like you hear If You Smell or John Cena.
They also had something way better doing it, and they also had more access to popular stuff. But yeah, no, obviously the contract they have right now is not working out, and I think the people who are doing it aren't even enjoying it. So hopefully once that ends, we'll get somebody good in there and we can just redo a lot of these because a lot of them need work.
Jim Johnson, man. Jim fucking Johnson. Let's go.
How old is he now?
Oh, he's got to be in his 60s, but it doesn't matter.
So
doesn't matter if you can do it from your own house. Who cares?
Yeah, but if you bring him in, like get him a protege so we can keep this train going beyond his death. You know,
Jesus Christ,
we're all going one direction, Nestlemania. Okay,
that's what makes you beautiful.
Yeah, he's just a little further down the road than we are. So
you never know. Every day is a blessing, bud.
Anyway, believe me, you don't got to tell me after my last couple months.
I know you're looking slim, trim, and ready to go. So look. Anything else that's positive here for you, or do you want me to try to hit some
the only positive is Roxy was on SmackDown, but that's about all I have to say about that.
What a fucking jobber there she was, huh? Jesus Christ, whatever. It is what it is.
Let her let Tiffy look good, because sure as hell Tiffy's needed it, man.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking seriously, Joe. Mikey Ruckus has done a solid job in AEW. Give me a fucking break.
Should I know who that is?
That's the dude that does all the AEW themes.
Oh, they have some good, but a lot of theirs are. The 90% of their theme songs are the most generic thing ever, and I don't know who's coming out when I hear the music.
When you hear Light the Fuse Dynamite, that was his song.
Okay.
With like it was kind of like Raw's Roar, whatever. He also did the Keith Lee song, which always makes me laugh, like whatever.
Bask in his glory.
Yeah, that's not a hard. Oh, Adam Cole, boom. That's a banger. I'll give him that.
That is an absolute banger.
So, but then again, Adam Cole just is a banger in general. So it is what it is. Something that I thought was really interesting to me, it just kind of chuckled. I mean, you might put this in the heat, but I just thought this was funny to me. Was like the Drew and Priest brawl on SmackDown, like just the eye patch, the no eye patch, and then
eye patch,
and then he fucking gets lit up, and then he's like underneath the apron, and he has this like concussed look of confusion. I just love that shit. It was making me that made me fucking laugh. You know, I just
Yeah.
love that too. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of weird stuff. Like we kind of glossed over the Cody stuff, but I thought that the presentation with the titles was cool.
I did like that.
But it also made me feel like he at the end, he kind of slid in there that it was going to be okay to hate him when he turned, like by his logic, which I thought was really interesting to me.
Everyone's the hero till they're not, bro.
Yeah.
It comes for all of us, you know. Everyone's a good person until they're not, you know.
Marcus, thanks for joining us. Happy Mania Week to you and
Happy
everybody
Mania
else.
Week, baby.
It's fucking Christmas time, baby.
Mhm.
That's the way we look at it. I'll tell you this much. The one thing we haven't talked about this, but I'm definitely not staying up to watch the Hall of Fame this year. So
I mean, you know how
1
I look at the
a.m.
Hall
Give
of
me a-
Fame. If someone doesn't tell me to watch a speech, I will not watch a second of it. And looking at the lineup this year,
there's nothing to watch. Like
there's no Mark Henry or anyone for me this year to care about. So
I'll see the clips. That'll be great. But
yeah, I'll only see those if people really shove them down my throat. So
all right. Anything else? No, you want to get heaty? Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Well, we could probably start with Tiffy and Charlotte if you want. I don't know.
I mean, this thing's just
The
it
gift that
started a
keeps on giving.
clusterfuck and it's ending as a clusterfuck. Who knows? Maybe they'll blow us away with some in-ring chemistry that they sure don't seem to have so far. But I mean, look, I don't have any doubts about Charlotte delivering. Tiffy's obviously still very young and very inexperienced, and this is a big step up. And she's working with someone who isn't afraid to screw her over if she fucks up. So this match could go a lot of different ways. But I will say, we'll get to it when we talk about Excitometer. This one ain't gonna be very high for your boy, which is funny because this is the feud we've all been talking about for Tiffy when it gets there, but it has just been a fucking absolute disaster week after week, man. Not even Roxy could save it this week. She made Tiffy look good during the match, but it didn't take away from the clusterfuck of Charlotte and Tiffy. So
I did get a little excited when Wade Barrett got involved, and I was like, oh, could he be the special guest ref? At least maybe that would be helpful, because a referee ain't gonna fix shit in this match. So at least if like he had like a bull hammer or something, that'd be fucking great to me. Like
boom, 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 boom.
We used to love that. Just get him a fucking gavel, just do whatever. So that's tough. That's a definite if it is what it is. We already talked about the gauntlet. I just thought that thing was incredibly sloppy. The tag team women's gauntlet, that made me very angry in general.
It was exactly what I expected. And look I think we all knew Lyra and Bayley were gonna win. I don't love that they came out first and ran through all the real tag teams. I never loved that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look Lyra and Bayley should both be on Mania. Liv Morgan should be on Mania. This is how they decided to do it. I'm fine with it. But again, it's just like I feel like they could have done a little bit more justice-wise for these women, but it is what it is. Something always gets left behind.
I just get really angry when a team that's not a team beats every tag team. Like
that was like I don't love them running through, even though I make fun of Zoe and Shayna, they're a real team. Kaden and Katana are a real team. And at least like the Secret Hervis, who are a new team, like they had that was the long part of the match. Like that was probably longer than the rest of the entire gauntlet, but is what it is, man. That's just kind of what it is. It's the last match on the card, but they're getting it in there for a reason. So
Chelsea also fucked up her match with a DQ that wasn't supposed to be a DQ, supposedly. That's a bummer. Let's see.
Big dub for my girl Zelina, though.
Yeah, which was like, I kind of felt bad because that probably was like a big moment for her. So I just felt like that was not ideal. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything on Raw specifically. It was kind of like whatever. I will say
all of it.
Raw was to me like very missable.
Yeah, there was the two things that I mentioned were I think the only things that were worth paying attention to, because I mean you mentioned the Jey Uso promo, he did nothing there. Most of the matches were just filler. Not that they're bad matches. I mean, what was it, Finn and Penta? I have no issues with that, but it's just like, it's we kind of talked about this off air before we got on. It's just like we've had so many weeks to build up that I feel like the go homes, like Friday's probably gonna be a really fun show because it's kind of part of WrestleMania weekend now. But the Raw before, I feel like the last few years is just kind of like this because the big feuds have been sold forever. There's a little maintenance on some of the smaller feuds, and the rest is just like filler. So even Netflix, with the spectacle of Netflix, didn't make it better.
I am curious how you feel about the CM Punk, Heyman, Roman Reigns stuff, because it felt like it was okay, but like to me, maybe I'm just being too nitpicky, but when I watched this segment, I was just like hoping for more. And it was just like, okay, Heyman gets pie-faced by Roman Reigns. There's a brawl, and Rollins eventually stands tall, which fine, great, wonderful. But I just felt like I was waiting for something else again. And that's my fault. Maybe I was expecting too much.
I'm glad you put this in the heat because this week made me realize that I don't care about Seth Rollins in this match at fucking all. I hate that he's like trying to say like Heyman owes him a favor. I'm just like, I realized I'm like, I get why he's in the match. He's gonna work his ass off for these two, the old guy and the part-time guy. But it's just like I was like, this feud is literally Punk and Roman. Seth's just in it. It's just like last year. Triple H is throwing his boy a main event, just like extra. And yeah, Seth is gonna earn it because he's gonna fucking die for our sins again. But it's just like, I don't give a fuck about him. I don't give a fuck about him and Heyman. It's just like I care about Punk and Roman and Heyman. Like that's this match. That's the main event. Seth's just there. Probably need a pin, but also like do all the work in the match. But it's just like that's what kind of realized me, and it did. It kind of was like, huh, I'm still gonna enjoy this, but it like kind of soured me a little because I'm like, he don't need to be there. I get why he's there, but he don't need to be there. He don't fit. He didn't fit last year. They made it work. He doesn't fit this year. They're gonna make it work. But it's like Seth the bridesmaid once again, you know, and then maybe it's like maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe it's him being like having to do extra work to get in these positions, even though he's probably earned better. But at the same time, it's like I'm looking at it with like, stay out of the way, bro.
I will say that
talking.
Last week he did do a great job, and the week prior I thought he did a great job too. So I think promo wise he's doing what he can. I just think when I'm watching Roman Reigns, there's something about it where I'm just wondering what exactly is he offering in terms of like, I get that he got betrayed. I understand that part. I understand, that he felt like he was giving Punk the favor by getting him the main event. Like I get all that. He steals the wise man. That's cool. Like that's enough for a WrestleMania match. But last night I was just watching it being like, this just feels weird to me. Like, I don't know what it was. It just felt like he was trying to be a baby face, but he was still angry at Heyman. And I understood that because Heyman's kind of a snake in the grass anyway. But it just felt like because we have 3 amazing people in this match plus 4 for Heyman, is that we're just being told to buy into something. And I just felt like as a viewer, as a fan, I felt like cheapened by watching Monday night. And I'm still
I'm sorry.
I just feel like I'm not excited and I should be. And I think like for me, I used to like, and this is not a fair comparison at all, but like it felt like for WrestleManias, it was like, okay, Austin in the beer truck, right? Coming like the week before, and it was like, I'll see you at WrestleMania. Like it just felt like with Cody and Cena, maybe there'll be something on Friday that will really just set it off. But I don't know. I just feel like if Cody and Cena aren't going to be the lighting of the match for, the stick of dynamite, no pun intended, to explode for WrestleMania go-homes, it just feels like then that should have gone to Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. And I don't think they did a good enough job for me to be like, let's fucking go. That's all.
I just think they don't need to do that shit anymore because before, you got to remember, and this is the biggest difference, and I say it all the time, they were trying to make you buy a pay-per-view. You don't do that anymore. You already subscribed to Peacock. They just want you to watch. And as far as they're concerned, you're already watching. So they don't have to bust out all the stuff before because it's like they've done that for months. Like they've already sold it. Like Cena sold this match for you on the heel turn. The promos were great and escalated it and entertained us along the way, but that shit was sold. This Roman Punk Seth match was sold before they ever fucking made it because this is what people wanted. So it's just like, and yeah, they've had some fun stuff along the way, but it's just like, it's already sold. Like, we don't have to, like, there's some people that might still physically buy a pay-per-view, but even like overseas, like they have Netflix. So they're turning on Netflix. Here in the States, we're turning on Peacock. We're not spending extra money. It's already sold. So they don't have to pull out fucking the Austin beer truck and stuff and go crazy to really get you to be like, oh man, I got to buy this thing now if you're on the fence. Because no one's on the fence. If anyone's on the fence, it's like, am I going to watch it or not? And chances are, if you care about it, you're fucking watching it. And all the casuals like can now tune in a lot easier because there are people who haven't watched wrestling in 20 years. And that's why they're doing record numbers at these shows. So it's just a much different approach. Can it be frustrating for us to watch week to week? Absolutely. And I feel a lot of the same sentiments about a lot of the stuff going in, but at the same time, like, I just realized that it's like, I've tried to have this mindset the last few years being like, I know it's going to be good when I get there. I obviously watch every week. I want it to be good every week, but as long as they can deliver on the biggest stage, we're going to forget for the most part about the other bullshit and we're going to be happy with the results. So that's what I'm focused on.
Okay. That was really well put because that put me in a different perspective as well because I didn't even think about the fact. Thank you for I love you. putting me in a different perspective, at least because I feel kind of grumpy. I'll be honest, like more than normal about it.
No,
like,
I know. Because I see like your comments sometimes in your tweets and stuff, and I'm like, that's like, you know what, Nestle? I know you're going to be happy with a lot of it, so let's try to get you to enjoy the ride a little more, because that's what we're on. We're on a ride, baby, and the ride's ending. We got the grand finale on Saturday and Sunday, so it's time to put our feet up, kick back, throw our hands up, and go, woo!
You had one job to do. You could have said, "Whoa,
Whoa!"
There you go. There you go.
I was trying to be a woo girl, you know.
Yeah. Well, you are definitely not a woo girl. That's for sure.
I'm a whoa girl, though.
Whoa. So I don't know. There's just. I don't think we have to talk much more about this week. I kind of feel like it's past day. Let's get hopeful, shall we? We discussed this before we got on here. I think it's interesting, and I want to hear other people's thoughts too about this.
Hit us up in the chat, baby, because we're going to be talking about what, Nestlemania?
Well,
what Randall, do you hear?
I hear voices in my head. That's what I hear.
They talk to me.
They talk to me.
Obviously, this was a big letdown because Orton KO was going to fucking bang. I was excited for it. I love these guys. And you know they were going to go all out. The brawls have been fun. Obviously, the KO injury put a damper on it, but it gives them an opportunity because what is not WrestleMania also about? There's always some surprises or some fun or some impromptu shit on the way. So that's what it appears, unless we get something on Friday, it appears we'll have some sort of impromptu match probably for Randy Orton. So what better way to speculate about what we want, what we think, than in the Hope Nestlemania?
So last Friday, they set up this whole thing with Aldis, and he made a comment about Mickie James. And then we also had Solo and Tama come out, and Solo, mixed it up with Randy Orton a little bit there as well. There's some other things we could talk about. Of course, there's other people that could return.
Rusev Futria, Rusev Machka. It's the Hope. That's my fucking hope, because I just want Rusev on my TV. Look it. I know I've been harsh about Nick Aldis wrestling before on this. We've argued about it, but it's just like, I don't give a fuck. And I think the majority of people watching aren't going to give a fuck because they aren't familiar with Aldis. I am familiar with Aldis. Saw his match with Cody. I loved it. I think he's great. But like, he's in WWE as a general manager for a reason. And if you want to have him do a return match at some point, that's fine. But at WrestleMania against Randy Orton, that's not really the spot where I'd like to see it happen. Sorry, Joe, because I know that's what he's saying in the chat. But for me, that's a big Randy Solo with no fucking build. I think they just kind of did that for filler for last week, if we're being honest, because it's like, oh, we have two heels and Randy can beat him up, and no, he always fuses the bloodline. But I obviously Rusev would be the big thing, but just something in that vein would be more of where my hopes would be. Do I think it'll be Randy Rusev? Probably not, because I think they could save him for the Raw or SmackDown after. But I don't know. I'd like it to be more something like that because I just don't feel like Orton Aldis is big to me at all.
Now, I know the answer to this question, but I do want to throw this out here just in general. What if Orton's standing in the ring, right? The lights just go out and we get Aleister Black. Like, I just think that's cool too.
I mean, that'd be cool too. It's the same thing as Rusev, and they've been running his promos for like weeks on SmackDown. We assume he was going to be on the SmackDown after, but I mean, that's the same vein as Rusev for me. I think that'd be fucking dope. Doing his entrance on a big stage for return would be dope. So yeah, I'd be perfectly okay with that.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, I don't have Nestle guys anymore at all.
You cursed the fuck out of him the first time.
But I cursed the fuck out. Like, that poor bastard. There were 5 Nestle or maybe 6 Nestle guys in my eternity of life. And Aleister Black was almost number 7. Let's put it that way.
But here's the thing. Aleister Black's winning at life because he's married to Zelina.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain people.
Your favorite can.
Well, she's got a couple. Anyway, listen, there's so many things we could do here. There's something that I thought, like, and I know this is going to cheapen everything, but I think it might. First thing, let me 30-second elevator pitch for you for Nick Aldis, right? This guy has wanted to wrestle in WWE his entire life, never got a shot to do it. He's married to Mickie James. But listen, he did say his dream match in WWE would be Randy Orton. If you can just give me
I'm listening. I'm not saying the word.
You're doing
the audio listeners have not heard me say a word until you just did that.
Yeah, but you throw me off with your face. You know what I mean?
Kind of my job.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus Christ, you and Doc, between the two of you fucking throw me off. Yeah, buddy. But it is what it is. No, but just the thought of, like, when you look at Nick Aldis, he is better physique-wise than a Rusev, than an Aleister Black, than a Solo, than an LA Knight, like any of those guys. So He's
I
a
don't know about
fucking
that.
tank of a man.
Alistair's fucking tall. Rusev literally comes out in a tank because he's fucking massive.
No, he's better
Bigger than
physique
Solo.
wise.
Probably not. Solo's fucking Samoan. I know he's tough. Nick Aldis looks good in the suit.
Okay, fine. You don't want to do that. That's fine. You don't want that guy to have his moment.
You keep trying to sell me, but if you're trying to tell me he's bigger than those people,
okay.
Let
me ask you this then.
Okay.
Let's say Randy Orton gets a match, right? Like, let's say it's a solo and you're fucking like, oh God, this is terrible. And then an impromptu match happens with Nick Aldis. Is that okay?
The two things that I don't want and they both happen, no, that wouldn't be.
Okay, well, then let's say that he
I'd rather have if those old fucking guys come out, just eat RKOs and not even do a match, which they might kind of do anyways. I'm like, if that's the route you're gonna go, because look I'm pretty consistent with this type of thing because I've said the same fucking things about Nigel McGuinness's return. I know why people are excited for it. With these type of things, I think there is a time, there is a place, and there is an opponent. This isn't the time. This isn't the place. And maybe it could be that opponent if you're doing it on another one. TNA Shamer, hell no. We don't want none. I love TNA. I just like all this. And I told you, I saw one match of his. It was in NWA. It was the NWA title with Cody. And I thought it was fantastic. But how long ago was that now? That was a while ago. And he's old.
Listen, all I'm saying is it's a nice little thing. All right?
Do it at Backlash then. That's the time. That's the place. And you can do that opponent. But WrestleMania, not the time, not the place, especially with this opponent at WrestleMania. That's my.
I don't think there's any talking you into a Nick Aldis match. I really don't.
Not at WrestleMania. No, this isn't the spot. Because
I think it's a perfect spot.
We just talked about how the Profits and Chelsea Green can't get on the show. People who work year round, who have real titles. And yes, I know it's Randy Orton, but it's just like Nick fucking Aldis. Like, come on. Come on. How would you feel if this was Adam Pearce? He also worked his whole life to get in there. He was a great wrestler. How come he's not getting one? He's been there longer than Nick Aldis. You just like Nick Aldis better. But it's the same fucking thing. Neither of them should be booked on WrestleMania in matches. Not in this capacity. You want to fucking set the standard that we're going to have more Michael Cole matches at WrestleMania? We got too much talent now. Don't waste my fucking time with it. If you want to do an Aldis thing, let Randy Orton RKO his ass again. Set up a match on SmackDown or Backlash. Whatever. But not at WrestleMania.
Nick Aldis looks like a wrestler. Looks handsome as hell.
Yeah, he was a wrestler, of course.
Listen to me. Adam Pearce looks like a mix between a penis and a bag of milk. That's exactly what he is. He's a sad sack. Okay?
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I think Adam Pearce is a stud.
That's official, by the way. Yeah, of course.
I think he's the better GM, too.
I don't think so at all, actually.
I think so at all because his show is a lot more fun and has way more.
It has nothing to do with him. Has nothing to do with him.
Because he adds to it by doing the gimmick of he can't control them, and his interactions with the talent are way better. Because Aldis, for the most part, I think is way too like serious and like disinteresting. Whereas Adam Pearce, all his interactions with all the talent are hilarious, whether he intends it to be or not. Better performer.
You're a Raw guy. I'm a SmackDown guy. I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, why don't we just fucking do Adam Pearce versus Randy Orton? I like that better.
There
I don't want it. I like it better than fucking Solo or fucking Nick Aldis.
Watch his melted candle body take an RKO. Great,
I bet you he is in great shape.
I bet you he looks like a fucking
hashtag always ready. Remember, he almost wrestled Roman Reigns. They almost did that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, until they didn't.
Hashtag always ready, like fucking Matt Cardona, who's been begging for a job in Canada.
That nobody wants Matt Cardona. Let's just
his wife's way more talented at this point in his career.
Jesus Christ.
Am I wrong?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. I don't think the guy needs WWE or AW or anything else.
I mean, he wants it. He wants a paycheck. He wants to be with his wife. I don't blame him.
I appreciate that, but I just don't think that's in the cards for him.
Probably not. He's old. They ain't looking to get more old fogies unless if it's like Aleister Black or Rusev. They'll take them in because it's like, yeah, we'll put them. We'll use them like we do Carlito. They'll be around. They're good TV, and when they want to wrestle, they can. When they don't, they don't. Because But they don't feel that way about Cardona, which is funny.
Overall, right now, as a JC guy that is RKO, you love RKO.
Yeah.
Give me your top 3 things that you want for Randy Orton in succession, 1 to 3.
I think I want Aleister Black 1 because I think that intrigues me the most. Because I think his entrance would look dope at Mania. But as my boy Bertsky said to me, I believe last week, it would be dope if Rusev came out in a tank again. So that's definitely number 2. And number 3, Sami Zayn. We haven't talked about it to this point. I meant to bring it up, but you distracted me with all this bullshit. But who's Kevin Owens' best friend? It's Sami Zayn. And yes, they've had the turmoil, but who's not on WrestleMania and who hasn't been on TV for a while? Do you know how big that pop would be for returning Sami Zayn? And especially now that KO is going to be out for a while and might not wrestle for a long time, like you can pull back on like their whatever and you can have Sami show regret, but it's just like Randy Orton, Sami Zayn. Now that's a WrestleMania caliber match. So I'll put that actually number 1, and I'll move Alistair and Rusev to 2A and 2B because it makes the most sense. I think it makes the most sense.
That is the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
Sami Zayn at WrestleMania? You know,
Sami Zayn was injured by KO.
Yeah.
He wasn't injured by Randy Orton. It makes no logical sense.
Nestlemania, it's wrestling. When someone gets an injury, no matter if they're a heel or a thing like this, it just puts it aside. We saw it in that promo. That's how it works. Because at the end of the day, Nestlemania, we like the humans. And you can take your fucking kayfabe and shove it up your stupid candy ass for being such a little bitch because we might never see Kevin Owens wrestle again. So yeah, if someone has to replace him, I want it to be his best friend in real life. The guy through thick and thin. They fought the hardest. They've loved the hardest. They've been mortal enemies. They've been best of friends. It's a fucking perfect finale to the feud we never, ever are going to get to finish at this point, possibly with KO and Randy. Give me Sami Zayn, you fucking little bitch, instead of your dumbass fucking old fogey guy who's in a goddamn suit. God.
Listen, the fact that you think that I hate... No. The fact that your little buddy over here is just fucking on your jock saying like he hates good storytelling. JC tells me
clearly you do.
No, I do not, because that's not a good story. What you just laid out was not. No, it's not. It makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense. No fucking sense.
Because we nowadays in wrestling, we toe that line a little bit more with reality and not reality. Because you know what, Nestlemania? We have this thing called the fucking internet. And we can see that these are real fucking human beings and they're playing a goddamn character. We're not fucking 8 years old anymore. We're not fucking hopping around with the Easter Bunny, which is real, and Santa. We're watching wrestling, which we know is fake, but we love it. So this is fucking perfect. Sami Zayn, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fuck you. Out of spite. JC knows. Hashtag JC's hopes come true. Randy Orton, Sami Zayn. You can fucking pay me next week when it happens.
I just want Aleister Black. That's all I want.
I would love him, but I can get him on SmackDown on Friday.
Nick Aldis better. Here's the thing. If Nick Aldis does get his match, are you going to fucking be disappointed?
I don't know, but I think Joe had the best comment. So you should put that on screen.
Someone has to wear the KO Mania shirt. It might as well be Sammy.
Yeah, and Joe's a Nick Aldis guy, but I think this is better for this time. It's Nestlemania. Here's the thing with it's WrestleMania. It's time and place matters. You can do the Nick Aldis thing later. We're going to get Alistair on Friday, which means we'll probably maybe get Rusev on Monday if he's even in shape. Who knows? He allegedly might be back with Lana, so he might have fucked himself back into shape. But, this is the one. This is the one.
I did not expect to get heated over this, but here we are.
Yeah.
So, and it's what it is.
I didn't either because I almost forgot to bring it up. Because you distracted me with this Nick Aldis bullshit.
I'm a good distraction. That's what I am. Am I? I don't know. Anyway, time to give our comebacks, don't you think?
I think so. Don't call it a comeback, but I'm giving it to Maxine because me and the SmackDown crowd absolutely love her. I don't give a fuck, Nestlemania, if Maxine never learns how to wrestle. She entertains me more than fucking 80% of the great roster, the wrestling roster they fucking have. And if I'm a young up and coming superstar, I'm learning as much from Maxine as I am because, look at Maxine has no business being in the ring half the time, and she has a fucking job and is on our TV a lot. And the most important thing, over with the fucking crowd because, yeah, it helps to be hot, but she's fucking entertaining as hell. So she's getting my comeback because I think that's a simple reminder sometimes that you don't always have to be the best at what it's actually called wrestling if you can bring other things to the table. And she certainly did that. And the crowd reminded us of that. So, Maxine, you're getting my comeback. Oh, thank you. I dropped something.
Of course you did. You dropped your dun-da-da. Anyway, don't drop that dun-da-da. Anyway, you know that, by the way? Or am I making a reference you don't know? Okay, all right. I didn't know how cool you were. Anyway, my comeback is to, I can't believe I'm putting this, Guthrie, I hope you're excited and boned up. I'm giving it to Karrion Kross. My comeback goes to Karrion Kross. Dude, it looked like $1 million. Got his old entrance back. Had a great outing with AJ Styles. I thought that they really went out of their way to kind of make Kross a reminder to all of us that he's actually pretty interesting sometimes. And I just enjoyed the match more than I had no, I was sitting there washing my dishes and I stopped washing my dishes to watch them wrestle. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I'm like, Kross is really putting in the work in this matchup. I couldn't look away. I mean, obviously AJ is AJ. He's an upper echelon talent and he always makes things work. But I just thought Kross deserves praise. He's not on the WrestleMania card. even though he said it didn't matter to him because he's like, it's in my hometown of Las Vegas, but it doesn't bother me because I get to wake up to a naked Scarlet. That was actually a quote, is what he said.
I mean, is he wrong?
No, it's just funny that he said that.
What would you rather have, Nestlemania? You know?
The man ain't wrong. But anyway, it's just funny. And I think he's been like doing more shit talking in matches, which I really enjoy. I think anybody that can shit talk in the middle of a match to me automatically goes up a step, in my opinion.
You know who I think he learned that from? His time with The Miz. I honestly think that part of this is like, I think The Miz gave him a little extra, which I think was something he needed.
Yeah, there's something about it where I feel like I don't think Cross is going to be, thrown into the fucking main event picture or anything like that. That seems like that ship may have sailed. But I was really enjoying his work on Monday, so I just wanted to give him my comeback. And a bonus hope, as we were talking about this, there's something in my brain that makes me feel like Logan Paul is going to beat AJ, maybe, perhaps.
I think so too.
And so I feel like AJ getting frustrated and potentially maybe falling in favor with Cross and becoming a tag team with two men with enormously wealthy looking hair.
I was gonna say
feathered.
This is all about the fucking hair. You fucking hair pervert.
I mean, just watching both of their glorious mains just tag in and tag out would be fantastic, don't you think?
Great.
Have we ever had a tag team hair versus hair match? Because that'd be interesting too. Just throwing that out there. No. Okay. Anyway, I'm excited to see what happens next for AJ Styles. We'll see. But Karrion Kross deserves a lot of credit because he's been trying an awful lot lately, and I think he deserves it. So
it was nice to hear his music. I like that part, even though it was mostly during the Netflix break. But it was nice to hear that again. But Nestlemania, we're going to the big old finish, and before we get to the 2 nights of Wrestlemania, we do have to talk about the pre-show. It's Friday Night SmackDown, as you mentioned earlier. Cena returns. We'll get the final something with Cena and Cody, but we have 3 matches, and we might as well predict them. We have Team Chelsea taking on the team of Kaden, Katana, and Zelina in a 6-woman tag, which is your favorite type of match. So I would like to predict it for fun.
I mean, at this point, it's probably going to be the
Zelina Vega.
I just feel like they're just a party crew. So yeah.
They're fun. Their entrance is a blast.
Yeah.
And they actually do tag team moves. That's why I appreciate them. But yeah, I kind of agree. It feels like if Zelina is the next challenger for Chelsea, they should probably win this. We also have Nestlemania, as I mentioned. The tag titles are on the line between the Street Profits and Motor City Machine Gun. These teams have been a fucking hot potato between these 2 teams and DIY and everything else. Do you think the Street Profits here kind of solidify themselves now, as they would have pretty much beaten all their contenders, except for Miller Don't Miss at this point?
I feel like they just got these things and they haven't had them for 4 years. So to switch them again this quickly would be kind of a shame.
I agree.
So I want to see them. I mean, the Guns can always win them back. It's fine, whatever. But like, to me, this was an opportunity here. I think this, like you said, this SmackDown division deserved to be on WrestleMania. So
this match would have been a great WrestleMania match. It would have been a potential show stealer because it would have went under the radar. You have the new tag team, which are studs, taking on like a very established tag team that we like, who's very good and exciting with Montez Ford. It just I think it's a missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Not excited about it, but
are you excited for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
Hell yeah, we are, to see what major thing happens here.
Who do you think's going to win it?
There's a thought in my
anyone
head.
Who's not booked, you can predict pretty much, I guess.
My thought here is we've been teasing this for it feels like a year now, so I feel like either one of 2 things is going to happen. Either Austin Theory's winning by throwing out Waller or vice versa, because we haven't seen it yet.
I think that's an interesting. That would be an interesting spot for it. Would be those 2 because, yeah, I mean, like the other headliners, like Miller Don't Miz will probably be in it. I mean, assuming Solo isn't facing Randy Orton, he'll probably be in it. But yeah, no, it's interesting because I feel like I'm trying, because sometimes you kind of lean towards the bigger guys, unless if they randomly had Rusev return in this and had him win it, which I think would be a waste.
Fucking terrible.
And I'm trying to think of maybe a young guy they could push, but. Yeah, no, I think that's a pretty good prediction on your part, but to be different, I will predict a different person. I'm trying to think of someone. It's not coming to me very quickly, so I'm going to continue to talk until I think of someone. I'm going to pick Otis.
Oh, it could have picked Jimmy Uso if he's alive.
That's true. Yeah. He would also be a good pick, but I'm going to pick Otis just because it's just.
What if Randy Orton wins?
if Randy Orton is anywhere near this thing. Whoa, Nelly. Yeah, I'll pick Otis. Why not?
What about Solo? What about Tama? We don't
They
care.
can
All
lose to
right.
Otis. It's just
What about Ray Phoenix?
I can picture Otis holding up that thing. It could be Ray
Okay.
Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
But it's like it looks good with a big guy, and it's a random match that doesn't matter, and it'd be a fun crowd pop.
I mean, it's useless at this point, but
Yeah.
whatever. It is what it is. Before we get to WrestleMania NXT takeover, excuse me, or stand up and deliver, whatever it is now, can we just go through AEW real quick? Because I just really want to see your reaction to this shit. Please.
Fine.
Okay. For on Wednesday, a Dynamite experience first. We've got, of course, We Hurt People, the Hurt Business, taking on, oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe this. It's like the Gates of Agony or whatever they're fucking called.
MJF's going to help them win again. Literally, this is the only thing in AEW I care about right now is MJF and the Hurt Business is such good fucking TV. The rest of the show is mostly shit, though.
We got another one that might bone you up. An Owen Hart Foundation semifinal as Will Ospreay takes on Takeshita.
That'll be a very good match. It shouldn't be on TV, but here we are.
And here we are. Another match that should be held off for pay-per-view, but is going to be there. Mercedes taking on our girl.
Athena, right?
Athena. Yeah.
I've been waiting for this match forever. And again, the fact that this is on fucking TV, it is in Bosstown. They are in Boston.
That's what I was gonna say. I want to see what the MGM looks like from a wrestling standpoint.
It's
anyway.
smaller. It's hilarious.
It looks dope though from the inside.
Yeah, no, it'll probably be cool. It'll definitely, the acoustics I think will be really good. But yeah, no, this match has no business being on free TV. This is going to be a fucking banger.
This is funny because unfortunately Pac is now dead in the water with his injury. Apparently, poor Pac. Rest up and get better. We have the Trios Championship on the line as the Death Riders really killing AEW one step at a time against the Ops, which obviously to me feels like just give the Ops the titles and let's move on. Honest to Christ,
I fucking hate the Ops.
I also did you see the clip about Hook vomiting in the ring?
No, but that's gross.
Yeah, he got a concussion last week and he vomited in the ring.
Oh, and he's wrestling this week. That's good.
Yep.
Good job, medical.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, I could give a fuck about this shit.
Yeah, and of course, you probably got some random shit like MJF as well as maybe some FTR or something like that too. But it is what it is. I don't know. It's just
they usually put that stuff on Collision, unfortunately.
Anymore
FTR on Dynamite. I'm sure we'll get some Bucks bullshit because they're back, right?
Yes, the Young Bucks. That's
whatever.
True.
2 good matches and a good segment. That's more than we normally get.
We also might get. I'm sorry, and also we get the question mark versus your boy Hanger. So.
Oh, that's this week as well.
Yeah. So
they're trying, man, but it's not going to matter much.
It's like they have 2 steps right and then just 4 steps into the wrong. It's unbelievable to me. It's like for any good decision they make, there's 6 behind them that is just sucky. I don't know what it is.
Did you see Triple H take a shot at him, by the way, on whatever show he was on? He said he's like, yeah, it's real easy to just book a wrestling show. You don't have to worry about money. But money's no object. You can do whatever you want. You don't got to try to make money.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's 100% right, but it's just like, leave the kid alone. Let us pick on him, but you shouldn't be picking on him.
Well, that guy seems like sophomore humor is his wheelhouse. So there you go. Is what it is. Anyway, I think it's time. Stand and deliver first.
No, because I probably don't know all the results yet. So
you're just buying time here.
Yeah, so we can predict as much of it as possible. We are going to night 1 of WrestleMania. Nestlemania.
No, you can do Nestlemania. That's right. Night 1 and night 2 of Mania.
7 booked matches. We have a lot of banners. And we are not only going to predict these matches, we are also going to, on a scale of 1 to 5 flames, our Excito Super Hot Fire meter. So first up, Nestlemania, we're going to start with a super hot one. Your favorite match of the weekend. The War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, defend their World Tag Team Championships against The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. I have 3 questions for you. Number 1, do we see Big E? Number 2, Nestlemania Excito meter, and number 3, prediction. Go.
Big E, no. Excito meter, 1. I feel like New Day.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on the prediction with New Day. I think because I think if we see Big E, they're more likely to lose. I'm assuming he's gonna be on the panel though, so maybe he does cost them. But it's just like I feel like they should be the champs. An Excito meter, I'll put it 1.5 just because I have to be more positive than you. But also, like, I'm always going to enjoy their entrances in this big crowd like this because the crowd is going to be all fucking over them. And also, this match will probably be low-key kind of good because both these teams can go. So I think that at least deserves better than a 0, which I might give a different match.
I will say this much right now. If they don't let New Day talk down the ramp, I think they're doing New Day injustice here. Because I think if you just let them come out and, do their fucking awesome rap song and like whatever, that's fine. But I think in order to get heat on them so that they could have more excitement for their tag match, you got to let them talk on the way to the ring. That's a long fucking walk. Let them do it.
You know what this match screams, though? This screams match 2 after the Jey Uso moment. So
Absolutely.
they're going to be in a tough spot, but what better way to make sure the crowd's still up there than to send out the team everyone fucking hates? But I agree. Like, them talking down to the ring is a good idea.
That's what we call a let me down match.
Yes.
Bring you down, let you down. So,
next up, Nestlemania, we have a singles match. We have 2 famed luchadors, Rey Mysterio against El Grande Americano from the Gulf of America. I will go first on this one.
Okay.
My question number 1 to myself is, do we see Chad Gable? Yes. In some capacity, we will see Chad Gable. Because maybe he gets unmasked, or maybe he's not actually El Grande America and he comes out and helps him. So those 2 options I think are both live. My excitometer, I'm going to put this at a 3 because I think this is fun. I don't think it's something where I'm going to probably like remember it like incredibly, but I think there could be some moments where it could be like, that was really fun, especially if whatever nonsense happens, whether it's an unmasking or whatever, I think it will be fun. In terms of a prediction, this is a tough one for me because I feel like it'd just be easy to say Rey Mysterio wins and unmasks him that ends it, but I don't know. Maybe El Grande America gets the win.
There you go.
Elcano gets the win, and then all that stuff happens after the match. But I'll pick Rey Mysterio, but I don't feel great about it.
Okay. I'm going to pick. So here's my thing logically. And I think I'm going to have a good sale job on this. So I feel like JC might change his mind after I say this. Although your pick is technically locked in, but I will allow it.
It's not in pen, bro. We got the magic eraser on the interwebs.
That's true. That's true. So here's my thing. If at all, like, I know this is probably not going to happen, but I would enjoy this. This would give me like belly stitches and laughter, which would be, where are we, JC, for WrestleMania?
Viva Las Vegas.
Did you happen to watch the WrestleMania 9 documentary?
I haven't got to it yet.
It's
I really
fucking
want to, though,
interesting
because I heard it's fun, and our boy Cap was very excited about it. So I definitely, I've just been so busy.
It's a good watch for sure. I think you would really enjoy it. Honestly,
I'm trying to get to it before the weekend, but we'll see.
It's really good. It's a good 2 hours though, so you actually learn a couple of things, which I enjoy. And I think you'd like it only because you like the Las Vegas-y like background of like the business of why they did it. So that's interesting to me, and it lends credence to me about it not being the worst WrestleMania of all time, which is still 11. That's beside the point. But in WrestleMania 9, JC, one of my favorite spots of all time, the double doinks. Why can't we in Las Vegas have a double El Grande Americano in which one is Chad Gable, one is not Chad Gable, and Chad Gable wins? Like,
I kind of love that. Like, they can do like the Bella twins, switcheroo, and everything. Oh, okay, you're buying me in. But who is the second El Grande?
It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be unmasked. It could be literally a fucking jobber. I don't care. But it would be fucking hysterical to me if you just have 2 of them go, gracias.
You know what? Honestly,
I think I would die.
About that. So,
I would die. I would fucking die.
I want to change my pick, but I won't.
See, I told you. I think that's a good sale job.
I'll put that. I'll sell it to myself as that's more of a hope than a prediction.
Sure.
But damn, that's good, Nestlemania. That's some good work by you.
I will say this much. I'm gonna give it a 3 because I'm interested for the excitometer. But yeah, I'm gonna pick El Grande Americano. I'm gonna regret that because I feel like the safe bet is Rey Mysterio. But I feel like Triple H every once in a while wants to give you that little bit of the twist there. So
yeah, no, you definitely sold me on that being what I would like to happen. Next up, Nestlemania, we have a singles match, a grudge match between Jade Cargill and Naomi. This one has been a roller coaster. And I'm curious, your excitometer and your prediction, and I'm trying to think of a third question I can ask you in this match is how fucking badass is Jade's entrance going to be?
I hope she gets a really cool entrance here.
I think she's going to be one of the ones who gets treatment. That entrance fucking slaps. So yeah.
I hope Naomi has new music. I think that's the other thing too, because like I don't like the like happy-go-lucky like, and she spells her name and then the lights go out.
N-A.
I don't like that. Not for this character anymore. There needs to be a new treatment here. I will say this. Excitometer for Naomi. Happy for her. 3.5.
Wow.
Happy for her. For Jade, 0. That's me. I'm not excited for Jade. So it's probably like a 2.5 at this point. Because Jade brings the thing down. I will say this much. Jade is a stud. Jade is a fucking superstar when you look at her. The bell has to ring. I'm not interested in seeing her wrestle. I think she's going to have some cool spots and stuff. I think Naomi's going to work overtime on this one because Naomi has been very impressive to me. I feel like Jade hasn't really done anything really like to impress me throughout this entire thing. Jade's going to win. Not happy about it because I want to say Naomi, but Jade's got to win this thing.
I think this match is going to surprise you more than you think. I think it's going to surprise all of us more than we think. I am going to put this one at a 2.99 because I don't want to be the same as El Grande Americano, but I do want to like give it more respect than you did because I am excited to see Jade in the ring again, especially in a match of this caliber on this stage, to see if she's one of those performers who can rise to the occasion. Because I feel like in AEW, she did that when she had a marquee match, like she stepped up. Obviously, it has to do with dance partners too. So I'm curious now that we're like, this is the biggest match of her WWE career, and it's not close. It is a singles match at WrestleMania. It is non-title, which means you are fucking important. So I want to see it. And obviously, it's huge for Naomi. I'm excited for her, but I agree with you. It is about Jade winning. I think she needs it. And especially depending what happens with the women's title on Raw with Bianca, both of these women could have her in their crosshairs, which is intriguing to me post-Mania. But yeah, give me Jade.
Getting some Joe Stopper math here. Median of 3.5 and 0 is 1.5. Cuz listen, do I care about math? No, I pass it and I'm done with it. So you know what? I don't have to add anymore. Nor do I have to have a median. Nor do I need to worry about probability or stats. I don't have to worry about
this. Wasn't adding, but yeah, we get the point.
Probability. I don't care. Averaging. I don't care about any of that.
Just say you're getting there. Nestlemania, do you know what a fraction is?
No, but I know what Fraxium is.
There you go. We'll predict about them later. But next up, we have another singles match. This one for the United States champion, your boy, L.A. Knight. Yeah. Defends against the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. And Nestlemania. I guess I get to go first in this one. So the 3 questions are, obviously, prediction, the excitometer, but also, does Solo Sikoa get his dumbass involved in this match? And I say yes, because I think Solo Sikoa might ruin Jacob's moment. Whether he does it on purpose or whether he tries to help him and ends up screwing him over, because I feel like they're going to do that feud. And, man, I just have a weird feeling, as much as I don't think either of us wanted, that L.A. Knight is going to be walking out of WrestleMania with the U.S. title. My excitometer for this match, it's tough because I, like you, I'm not as harsh on L.A. Knight, but it's an L.A. Knight match. I'm just like, meh. But it's Jacob Fatu. And all of his matches, I'm like, me. So what I have to do is be like, well, one guy rated 0, one guy rated 5. That's 2.5. That's how you do an average. So that's the match excitometer, 2.5.
Did you pick a winner?
L.A. Knight.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoopee. I will say that I will also give it a 2.5 because of Jacob Fatu. I'll be honest, just watching him convulse is worth a 2 in general. But I'm nervous here because if Solo has a match on Mania, perhaps, then he wouldn't be involved in here. But I just don't know what else you can do with LA Knight as the United States champion.
He's a baby face. You parade him out there and have him do the bullshit he's been doing, which we don't like, but the live crowds love it.
I would say this much. I'm going to pick Jacob Fatu because here's my thing. I don't think LA Knight is the person that can beat a Jacob Fatu. In my opinion.
That's why he needs Solo Sikoa.
No, I know, but I think that would be kind of too much to me. I'm going to pick Jacob Fatu. I don't feel great about it. I don't. But it's interesting to me for sure because I feel like there's somebody you can sink your teeth into. There's somebody that you can get excited about. Here's the thing. You can say what you want about LA Knight. The dude sells tickets. He sells T-shirts. He's got a catchphrase. He's got an aura about him. So he's got a lot of positives in his column for sure. But there is something about Jacob Fatu that is one of one, like could potentially be the face of the company, in my opinion.
I don't know about that.
I mean, Where's the hole in his game?
He was in prison for 12 years or whatever.
So was MVP.
Yeah, but is MVP ever the face of a company or world champion?
No, that's fair. But
Yeah,
I think that like
Jigafatsu obviously is incredible and he served his time. And but it's one of those when you say face of the company, that to me is
world champion.
The company's he could be a world champion.
Okay.
He can have Gunther's title. I don't know if he's ever getting the big one.
Okay, I'm just curious because I think they see a lot in him.
I agree. I see a lot in him too. He's a fucking stud, and like he served his time. Like whatever. I think that's important.
Okay,
but it's
all right. No need to get hot. No need to get.
I'm not getting hot. I'm just telling you. Something I tell you, and I will say, whoever saw chasing Nestle in the predictions, he just gave you one. So you know what to do.
Daniel.
Next up, we have a singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. The match Nestlemania has been waiting for. Tiffany Stratton defends her title against the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair, in Nestlemania. I could give a fuck about the prediction, but I will need that. But I need to hear your excitometer on this match because this is an interesting one for sure. I'm going to sip my tea.
I'm going to say right now that I am -5 on this one. I can't wait for this shit to be over. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that will get me excited for this match right now. I was in my head on paper when I found out she won the Royal Rumble. I was like, this is fucking gold. This is great. And then somehow week after week after week, I was just thinking to myself, okay, a little bit less. It's like getting a giant, like I had this Latin teacher, right? He would tell me everybody gets an A until you kind of fuck up and you chip away at your grade. This has gone completely into a fucking crumb. Like I got nothing to be excited about. -5 for me on the excitometer. I'm picking Charlotte. I think this is a shovel fest. We're getting over. Thanks for coming, Tiffy. You've done a great job. Now let the big girl play.
My excitometer is 0.1. Because I refuse to give a 0 because I think that's mean. And look at Tiffany's are in this moment. I'm gonna pick Tiffany to retain because at the end of the day, I have thought from the beginning that this feud would be all about Tiffany, and obviously the lead up has felt like it's not because it's Charlotte doing her thing. But Charlotte has lost plenty of times, and this would be a big defining one for Tiffany. Would it kill Tiffany to lose to Charlotte? Absolutely not. Charlotte's arguably one of the best women of all time, if not the best in some people's boat. So would it hurt her long term? Absolutely not. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that they do a lot of title changes at WrestleMania. I've just predicted 2 retains in a row. So it'll probably tell you where I could be going with other stuff. But people do retain at WrestleMania. And, Tiffy's kind of done the different thing. Like she's defending the title as opposed to chasing it at WrestleMania as the young gun. So I think she's going to do it. I think this match is definitely going to be better than we expect because the feud has been so bad. It's kind of ruined that this could be a lot of fun. I just hope they're on the same page, which they might be, they might not be. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, 0.1 excitometer. Give me Tiffy.
Okay.
Next up, Nestlemania. We only got 2 matches left on night 1. So that means we have the match we think will kick off the show. Another singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther defends against the 2025 Royal Rumble men's winner, Jay fucking Uso. Think about that, Nestlemania. Think about that night, that shock, that awe. He's here now. Is it Jay's moment? I have to answer the question first this time. Excitometer? Man, this is tough because his entrance is going to be fucking awesome. Gunther's never had a fucking match that isn't a fucking banger. And we could get a great moment. I think I have to give this a 5.
A 5?
I think I have to give this a 5. And I think part of that is that when he won the Rumble, I enjoyed the shock value because we just don't get that. But I was like, can they fucking keep me invested and get me more invested over the next, 2.5, 3 months? They did both those things. They got me more invested in this. Week to week, for the most part, they hit some singles some week, but they hit triples, they hit home runs. Hell, they might have had some surprising inside the Parkers. So I think I have to give it a 5. As insane as that is to say. I was thinking coming in like 4, 4.5, but I'm like, I went through it on my head. I'm like, the entrance is going to be fucking awesome. The match is probably going to be good, and we get a great moment. Like, how is that not a 5? So have to be excited. And when Gunther wins and when everyone's disappointed, that might also be a 5 because we'll get everyone's tears. So yeah, I'm going 5, and I'm going to pick Jey Uso to win.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it a 3.5 because I'm excited for it. I just don't know if it's the one thing I'm excited for the whole weekend. I think Jey Uso picks up
more than one Nestlemania.
What?
You can give out more than 1A.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Here's the thing. I can't give it a 5 in my head because Jey Uso has to wrestle.
Yeah, but so does Gunther. Did Gunther and Jey Uso have bad matches? No,
they didn't know. But
three of the best matches of Jey Uso's career.
That's fair, but I will say I'm just never entertained with a single Jey Uso match. I don't know. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. I hope I am. I hope I come back on this program and get E Crow, but I just don't know. I don't know what to think right now. But Jey Uso better win that fucking thing. What a moment that's going to be.
Either way, it's going to be entertaining.
You know that there is a huge part of me that is going to be cackling. Like $1 million man cackling if fucking Gunther wins.
Nestlemania, think about our Jey Uso journey. We were pretty much haters up until he won the Rumble, and then we're like, this is fucking great. So if we got, again, a second surprise where he didn't win, and we could go in the chat and just send a bunch of fucking laughing emoji gifs at Ray, the biggest fucking Jey Uso jock hugger there is. Oh, man. So either way, I think we're going to win. Yeah. That's why for me, like this, thinking about it, like as I said out loud, I'm like, I have to give this a 5 because I'm going to be happy with the outcome. I expect the match to bang because it's Gunther, and Jay's entrance is going to be fucking incredible.
When the celebration is going to be nuts too.
Yeah, exactly. 5. Yep. It blows my mind. I did not expect to come in and do that, but I just did it. But Nestlemania, we have one match left on night 1, and that is a triple threat match for no titles. You could say it's for Paul Heyman since all these dudes clearly just want to fuck him or cuck him. I don't fucking know. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman, and then Seth Rollins is fucking there. I've already ranted on this, but you're going to get to go first on this one, Nestlemania. So 3 questions. Obviously, who wins? Obviously, your excitometer. And then what are your expectations with Paul Heyman in this match? Does he factor into the decision anyway? Or is he just kind of there and just kind of like fodder for entertainment? Or does he decide this match?
Well, remember, it's triple threat rules, which means there are no countouts or disqualifications.
That's what I mean, but does he take a side?
I think what's going to happen here, if I was booking this, there has to be a moment where he has to choose something.
Yes.
That's the drama. He has to choose something. Does he give a chair to Seth Rollins or Punk or Roman Reigns? Like, you know what I mean?
A chair to Seth Rollins would be some fucking full circuit shit right there.
Right. So I think, I mean, I laughed really hard when Kevin Owens said this. He's like, because people like were giving him a hard time, and he said in an interview like this week, he's like, everybody says the main event of night 1 isn't really the night event. He goes, no one's gonna say that shit now because CM Punk was crying about being in the main event of Wrestlemania. And I was just like, there you go. He's like, so no one's gonna dare say that again. So it's all about Punk to me. Like once he makes his entrance, and it's gonna be emotional for him to get in there. I just don't feel like Roman Reigns winning needs to be there. Like, I'm not interested in Roman Reigns winning. I'm not interested in Seth Rollins winning, although there seems to be kind of
only if like he became a Heyman guy. I don't know if I'd love that, but like that's the only way you could maybe sell me on it.
Maybe, but if so, like the last image of night 1 is Seth Rollins with Heyman. Are you excited about that?
Not really, but that's how you make the Seth Rollins thing make sense. Is it going to be my favorite thing in the world? Probably not. But would I be like, fine? I'll be like, fine. I'd accept it.
I'm excited for this. I'll give it a 4.5. I will say, I just don't think it's Reigns, so that doesn't help me. But I feel like the smart play is Punk, so I'm going to pick Punk.
Yeah, I'm also picking Punk, and I don't feel as good about it. This is one of those, you talked about how like you get the A and you kind of work away from it. From the beginning of this concept, I was like, Punk, Punk, Punk. The closer we've gotten, the less and less confident I've been. But I truly feel like this is about him. And yes, you can say him getting the main event is about him, but I feel like the thing after this is him going after a title in some capacity, whether it's Cody, Cena, or God forbid Gunther still has the thing. So I feel like to do that, beating Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in a main event of WrestleMania, that makes you a number 1 contender moving into wherever they do it at Backlash, or they wait to Money in the Bank, or however they want to do it. It's just like he now has that cachet. In terms of Heyman factoring in, he absolutely will. I think the decision thing's going to be great. I think there's going to be a million teases throughout the match. I am curious going forward because it's one of those, like, are they ready to have Roman Reigns fully without him? I think they could, because he's kind of on his own anyways as the OTC. I think he's graduated character-wise from needing that Heyman thing, especially because he just comes and goes as he wants. Like, so I think you could, whether it's him siding with Rollins, God forbid, or just like somehow choosing Punk, whether it's by mistake or whatever, or who knows, maybe he screws it up with all of them. But I'm also picking Punk to win. My excitometer, I liked your score of 4.5. I was leaning that way. I'll go with there as well and agree with you on that because I mean, look at this is it's Punk and Roman Reigns are in a match. I'm fucking excited for it. The Heyman stuff is intriguing. The entrances are going to be fun. They're going to have good guy here. It's a main event for a reason, which means they have some cool shit planned. So it's hard not to be in that upper A echelon. So I will also give it a 4.5. But CM Punk, main eventing and winning night one. Boom.
Do you think it's weird? Like, our assholes gonna pucker up when we see them coming out at the Cult of Personality? Because like when they get the special entrance with the band, you kind of know they're not gonna win. So it's just
I think we've kind of graduated from that.
Okay.
Lately, I feel like there's been special entrance people have won, and there's been a lot of matches where, I mean, this could have 3 special entrances for all we fucking know. With these entrances, I mean, Seth doesn't really need it because people sing, but maybe they bring the fucking choir again, and Roman's always live for that shit. So, but yeah, no, I think this is this certainly is must-see TV.
Okay.
You ready to go to night 2, Nestlemania?
Let's do it.
So 6 scheduled matches, which means the Randy Orton thing you would think would happen on this night, but this also has more multi-man matches and the main event, which was probably going to be insane. But Nestlemania, we have 6 matches, and I'm once again going to start with your favorite match of the night, a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I believe it is my turn to go first, so I will have 3 questions for myself. The third question will be, do Bayley and Lyra get along and play nice? And I'll say, who cares? But no. My excitometer for this match, well, look at this. I love Liv Morgan. I love Bayley, and I love Lyra. So I'm going to give it a 2.8.
You would have given it a 3 if Raquel wasn't in there, huh?
No, I would have given it a 3, but I don't want to give it the same as El Grande Americano. And then I gave something else, which I like slightly better, a 2.9. So I have to go to a 2.8 here. I've kind of like pigeonholed myself in this word. You know what I mean? Because it's just kind of one of those, but it's like, I'm happy for the people. Could this match over deliver? Probably. Lyra, Bayley, and Liv and Raquel are all very underrated in their own ways. But yeah, I think Liv and Raquel are probably going to retain here.
I feel like Liv and Raquel have done a great job. They've just got those tag titles back, it feels like. So, excuse me. I am not interested in seeing Lyra and Bayley as a tag team, nor as a tag team champions. So I do not want to see that. I want to see Bayley turn on Lyra. I think Bayley has been stale for a very long time. She's been kind of doing whatever the hell she can, but I feel like she's been lost as a viewer. I don't really know what she's doing or why I'm supposed to care about her. She used to be one of the most emotional people I could attach myself to as a fan. I have no attachment to her right now. I'm sure she's wonderful, but we got to do something to shake her up a little bit here. And I think turning might help here. Lyra's still the IC champion. Having a heel Bayley go for an IC title reign, perfectly fine by me. So give me, and again, Liv deserves the fucking flowers because I think when I watched on Monday, I was like, I knew she was a big deal, but something clicked on Monday for me to be like, oh, okay, she might not be 1A or B, but
she also got the name drop in the Cody promo when he listed all the top stars. So she was one of the first names he said. So
I just think she's there. Yeah. So I'm going to give it to her.
Excitometer
1.5.
I think that's kind of mean, but
it's a tag match with a team that shouldn't be a tag team.
I don't disagree.
That weighs it down.
I don't disagree. I would have gone.
You could have, if you could, any of those women in those tag matches. You telling me that you could? This is the match you couldn't fucking slam all the fucking tag.
Honestly, I think this one has a little more intrigue just because of the name value. Unfortunately, that's WrestleMania season. That's what we're going for. I love my girls, Kaden and Katana, but if they're doing Liv and Raquel versus Kaden and Katana, what are you giving this?
A 0.
Exactly. So their point done. Next up, singles match. I'm excited.
Sorry, you said Raquel too. And
yeah, I'm taking Liv and Raquel. Okay. Next up, a singles match. This one will be the gymnastical athletic one of the night. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, Nestlemania. So 3 questions for you. Obviously, the prediction and the excitometer, but also, does his brother Jake Paul make an appearance?
Fuck no.
I don't think so either.
I will say this much. Like I said 2 weeks ago to you, this match screams. The finish has to be fucking phenomenal forearm, fucking hit in the face with the brass knucks.
And then that fucking new Logan Paul finisher is fucking badass. So he's definitely gonna hit that after he does the brass knucks.
Yeah, that has to be it.
AJ can do the
Yeah.
They'll like flop around in the air.
Yeah.
Zombie thing. So.
Yep. But Logan Paul's winning this fucking thing. And to me, I'll give this I'm excited for this. I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4.2 because I have to be higher than you. And yeah, I'm picking Logan Paul as well. This match I'm very excited for. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think this is a great use of AJ Styles at one of his, probably we would assume at this point, one of his final WrestleManias. I think this is a good opponent for him. So yeah, 4.2 for me, 4 for you, and we both got Logan Paul. Next up, Nestlemania. Oh, Nelly. The JC Boner Parade's coming. Fatal 4-way match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker and the greatest spear of all time defends his title against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. Good Lord. 3 questions on this one. This third question is, does Judgment Day tatter a little bit here with Dom and Finn blowing up and blowing over? I think so. I think they're kind of set it up, and maybe the final finale will happen on Monday, but I think it's at least the Finn Balor portion of it is going to get Das Boot from the group. With some nonsense, and then they can kind of do their own thing with Dom, Carlito, Liv, and Raquel, and then if they add someone else. But I do think that'll culminate here. In terms of Excitometer, I mean, look it. I'm trying not to give this a 5, but my erection
4.9.
4.99 to infinity. So the closest you can get, because I just like, these are my types of matches. Like when you get like 4 absolute fucking studs who are 4 of my favorite wrestlers in ring and out of the ring for different reasons. The power of Braun Breaker with the athleticism and underrated power of Penta. Dom fucking selling his ass off. Finn selling his ass off and doing all his fucking smooth, cool shit. Besides the Sling Blade, that move sucks. But everything else, this is a fucking boner parade. It's going to be fast paced. It's going to be chaotic. There's going to be gaga. And you know what, Nestlemania? I really, 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 really want to pick a certain someone to win the IC title here. And I'm going to fucking do it because
There you go.
I don't fucking care. Dominic Mysterio, new Intercontinental Champion. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Let him pin Finn Balor. Finn's about to win. He fucking rolls up Finn, steals the title. Braun isn't going to need it after this. Penta, I think it'd be a fun run if he got it, but he can fucking feud with Dom. Boom. There we go. He can win it from him. That's how we do it. Penta will probably win this, but I'm fucking picking Dom because I want it, baby, because it would be such a cool thing. Even if he lost it right away, I don't care. I'd like him to hold it for a while, but give me fucking Dominic Mysterio to win the IC title. 4.9999999. Super hot fire excitometer.
So for me, I'm going to give this is going to be a 5 for me.
Wow.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I will say this much. I had, as much as I gave shit about the, everybody's going to say, I'm a hypocrite, which, fucking every week I'm a hypocrite, right? So it doesn't matter. So I can't call it. There's 4 guys in here that could win. There's like the dark horse, of course, but they're like, I think anybody can win this matchup.
Absolutely.
And I love when I can't call something like that, because at least that entices me to like actually watch it. But then as you described everybody, I got more excited. There's something that probably won't happen, but just go with me on this, right? 2 weeks ago, Braun Breaker hits one of the best spears you will ever see in your entire life on one guy. This past week, he hit 2 guys.
I know where you're going. My unlucky number.
What is he going to do at WrestleMania, perhaps? Giving him
3 goggles.
3 spears. 1 spear, 3 guys. Fucking domino effect. I would love to see that spot. I would be like, that would be fucking hysterical to me. I'm going to pick Braun Breaker because I feel like I don't see Penta winning right now, although he's on a roll. If I had to pick a number 2, I'd pick Finn Balor. But I think my brain says pick Braun Breaker.
So if you're leaning that way, then that makes you think that you don't think the Judgment Day is going to break up.
I mean, how many times have we come on here and said we?
I know,
so.
but it's one of those, like, they eventually got Priest and Rhea out of there. It might be Finn's time to get Das Boot. Plus, he's probably gonna take a vacation after Mania because he's part-time.
I'm gonna pick Breaker. I don't know if I feel great about it, but he's the hoss, so I don't know. And I want to see the triple spear. I really want to see it.
They're absolutely doing it. That's a good call. 100%.
All right.
Next up, another one of Nestlemanias. They at least gave this a stipulation, which is exciting. And I think this could be a potential show stealer because of it. Because Damian Priest, best type of match for street fights. This one is a Sin City street fight. I know Nessa loves the gimmicks. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Nestlemania question. I believe it is your turn to go first here. Obviously, the excitometer and prediction. The bonus question is, do we get a Bad Bunny appearance? I don't really have a good bonus.
Oh, for fuck's sake. No, I'm no Bad Bunny. He doesn't need to be there. It doesn't make any sense because Damian Priest is a babyface.
That's the only reason I saw. Actually, it makes more sense that he can help him this time.
Yeah, I know, right? The only thing I could think of was, is there a car spot here again? I don't know. Here's my thing. Let him fucking brawl into the strip. You know what I mean? Like, let them fucking just beat each other up at the casinos. It'd be fucking great. They won't do that. I will say this much. I'm picking Drew McIntyre. I'm going to give this a 3.7.
Wow.
I'm excited for this. I think the Mac needs it more than Priest, especially with just the way Mac's been carrying himself here. I just don't think McIntyre loses a lot, like for importance reasons. So I'm going to pick McIntyre.
If this was a regular match, I'd probably go pretty low, even though I think they've done a really good job with this feud. But since it's a street fight and it's going to be fucking chaos, I'm giving it a 3. Because who doesn't fucking like a street fight? And these guys are fucking hosses. Will we see Bad Bunny? No, but I just couldn't come up with a better question. So that was a question. Because I clearly thought of these before the podcast and I'm not coming up with them on the fly. I would never do that. And I definitely didn't add that at the last minute and not tell you about it either, because I would never do that. It's a peek behind the curtain. That's kind of how I roll. But in terms of a prediction, I am also picking Drew McIntyre because especially if Cody retains, I mean, it could be Punk too, but McIntyre's a contender. Priest had his moment last year. It's not going to kill him to lose this match. He's still going to be a top guy. So give me Drew McIntyre. Okay. WrestleMania, we got 2 left.
Yep.
And next up is the build-up you've enjoyed the most coming into WrestleMania. It is a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship with 3 of the absolute studs at the top of their game. So no need to hate. We're going to be positive now because we're here. We don't have to talk about the lead-up anymore. Io Sky defends her championship against Bianca Belair, who's never lost at WrestleMania. Just remember that. And Rhea Bloody Ripley, who's never beaten Io Sky. In a singles match. Obviously, triple threat. This is different. But Nestlemania, I believe it is my turn to go first.
Sure.
So the bonus question is, does Bianca Belair turn full heel and embrace it? I think that might be coming, but I don't think it's here. I think she's going to continue to tease it like she has been and kind of teeter and probably do some like dastardly things in this match. In terms of an excitometer, this one's tough because, the lead up hasn't been ideal. But these 3 women in a ring together is going to fucking bang. These are 3 of the best women's wrestlers in the company. 3 of the top stars. 3 of the most over stars. So the crowd's going to be hot. I'm going to give it a 4. Because I think this match is going to be really good. If the lead up was better, I think it could possibly go to a 5. I really do. Because this is insane. Like, if you showed us this match on paper, you'd just be like, fuck yeah, that could main event. Like, you'd think that. Because these are, I mean, Rhea and Bianca is like the major rivalry. But mixing in Io, who's a stud in her history with both women, in terms of a prediction, she's never fucking lost at WrestleMania. Until that happens or she faces Brock Lesnar, I'm picking Bianca Belair because it's also a triple threat. We also know Io was given that title just to lose it at WrestleMania. So, I'm taking Bianca, and I'm excited for what the future holds because I hope they let her loose and stop this teeter bullshit and send her on her way. And, man, whether it's a twist with, like, her being Naomi being on the same side, but it's just, like, it makes me excited about a potential Bianca Jay thing in the future. But, I'm picking Bianca in WrestleMania.
Excitometer for me, 3.9.
Wow.
Because I know the match is going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
And just watching them do physicality towards each other, there's going to be some cool, like, seesaw-y back and forth, like a slingshot into a fucking move of something else, or, like, fucking boyoyoing off the top rope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something fucking weird's going to happen. A fucking riptide to the outside on somebody else. Like, I can see the spots in my head, like, going, okay, that's cool. So the match itself, I just feel like they fucking punted on this fucking story. So I got really mad about it because I think both.
You don't say.
I think all 3 of these women honestly deserve better in terms of the storytelling, but whatever. I'm going to pick Belair because she's the new Undertaker. This is her yard now, and she will not lose. So, I agree.
I hope she starts fucking digging holes and taking souls. But she comes on a bug. You've done it now.
With Montez behind her, yeah.
Bianca Taker, baby.
Bianca Taker. There you go.
Oh, that's good. Well, yeah, we're excited for it, and we both picked Bianca because she don't lose. Nestlemania.
Yeah.
We did it. In the words of Jason Tatum,
We're here.
we did it. We did it! We're at the main event of WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Cody Rhodes defending his undisputed WWE Championship against one of the most decorated wrestlers of all time. One of the GOATs, John Cena, who is sided with The Rock and Nestle's favorite wrestler and rapper, Travis Scott, to form something. We don't know because neither of the other two have been on since. Maybe. So my first question is, will those two be at WrestleMania? We know Travis Scott's performing. Will The Rock and him be in Cena's corner and part of his team? Question number 2, excitometer. Question number 3, who's going to win? Question number 4, does Cody get comeuppance on Travis Scott or The Rock or both? Question number 5, how fucking awesome is the crowd going to be for this?
There's a lot to unpack here.
I just asked you like 8 questions.
I know. I'm going to forget.
But I figure that kind of covers everything we want to cover.
Sure. I would say this much. Travis Scott needs to get a receipt. I don't care if it's during his performance or if it's in the match. He needs a receipt for punching him in the fucking face. That was not appropriate and professional, in my opinion. So I think, and Cody wouldn't care because Cody's whatever. But I think just to show him what you deal with when you're a wrestler, that's what you do. I think The Rock will show up in some form or fashion. It's WrestleMania. Try to fuck him, sure. But I think the glass is going to shatter here.
I think so too.
And I think we're getting the fucking Rock sell job with the fucking boing into the ropes and the whole thing. I bring us back to our childhood. I think Cena might even need a stunner here. I mean, I see a lot happening here, a lot of gaga because it's Cody. Cody getting solidified by Stone Cold is pretty cool too. I think that's another something that hasn't happened yet. So I'm in. And that did you hear that story about how Cody Rhodes was babysat by Stone Cold once? I just thought that was a cool little nugget.
There's a lot of history between them because I mean,
yeah,
Stone
Dusty
Cold
loved him.
Yeah, Stone Cold's obviously put him over tremendously. Obviously, like when he came back to the company and since he won it, we just haven't really. I don't think we've seen it on screen. So.
No. And I think that's one of those last things, right? Like,
yeah.
And I think Cena winning now is cool if he does, but
Yeah.
What else does the rest of the journey look like? I think is interesting too. So I don't know if I answered all your questions. The excitement
Excitometer, baby.
Oh, sorry. Excitement for me, 4.7.
What?
Yeah, 4.7 for me.
Where's the other 0.3 going? Is it because John Cena has to try to wrestle?
I think here's my thought.
Cody's going to have his working American Nightmare boots on. That's for damn sure.
I think if our boy Danny Grimwood was in the chat, I think he'd agree with me. I have no problem thinking to myself, Cody Rhodes is going to kill himself in any portion of any match he's in, just for the entertainment of us. And I appreciate that very much because Cody Rhodes does that for the fans. I'm not saying John Cena won't try. I'm just thinking to myself, watching what he's done the last 2 or 3 years hasn't been up to John Cena's standards.
He's old, bro.
He's old. That's fine. I just feel like that 0.3 is because Cena can't bring what John Cena used to bring. So
not even the glass shattering gets you to 5.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not an Austin guy.
The
honestly.
only 5 rated match was the Fatal 4-Way.
Yep. Fuck yeah.
This is a 5. It's an infinity.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
I respect the rating, so I will call it a 5, even though it is infinity, because this is a mega matchup. This is incredible. This is great. Travis Scott and The Rock will both be there. I think they're going to come out with Cena. I think they'll just be on the ramp. Maybe they don't come down, but I do think they'll get involved probably in some capacity when we start the run-ins and all the bullshit. I do agree with you that glass will be shattering because, man, that's how you even the odds. Better than they pulled out everyone else last year except for him. So this is the year you pull him out because Cody and Stone Cold can beat any sort of fake fucking Hollywood bullshit faction The Rock can compile because that is a fucking dream team. So yeah. I'm going to pick Cody Rhodes because it's fucking Cody Rhodes. And I want Cena to win as a babyface. And I also think his final run, this is a really cool way to start it because I don't think any of us expected it to start this way. But I do think that for him specifically chasing that record is going to be part of it. And there are so many opportunities along the way, whether it's Money in the Bank and all these things for him to do it or to fail again. And I think this is the first failure. But would I be mad about Cena as a heel, as a champion? No, I think that'd be pretty fucking cool too. And it would make a Punk feud red hot. But yeah, I'm picking Cody because Cody Rhodes. Will the crowd be amazing in this match? Yeah, I cannot wait. There's going to be so many fucking chants, Nestlemania. So many fucking electric chants. This place is going to be on fire. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I don't know how else to put it. I cannot wait.
I'm going to pick again.
Yeah, no, you're picking Cody?
I'm picking Cody as well.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing that sold me on this was that on the promo he had on last Friday, excuse me, he said something along the lines of like, if he loses, like the legacy of the title's gone. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's it for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, he's not going home because he's the fucking champion. He has to fucking figure it out. So I just feel like there are things they say that they kind of shoot themselves in the foot when they say them. But if you're reading between the lines,
most people don't pay attention to that shit.
Yeah.
We do, because we do a fucking podcast every week like a bunch of fucking dorks. But
yeah, we are dorks. So, all right, did you figure out NXT? Can we get this over with? This is a long.
I can refresh it.
This might be the longest podcast we've ever done.
Is there a problem with that? I feel like we did a 2-hour one for WrestleMania one year, so we're not getting there. Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't know the there's 7 matches now. We got matches added. But we're gonna start. We do not know the last person in this match. Is a ladder match for the vacant NXT Women's North American Championship. Zarya, Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, Izzy Dame, and my girl Lola Vice qualified, baby. We do not know number 6, but Nestlemania. I'm going to pick up my heart on this one because who gives a fuck? Give me Lola Vice, baby.
Yeah, I feel like Lola's probably like as I'm looking at hold on. Let me look real quick. I feel like Zarya and
hold on.
What?
Hold on. Holy shit.
Now you're fucking with me.
They added another match. Oh, okay. They added a pre-show match. Okay.
That doesn't fucking matter.
Well, it's one of the 7 matches. They just changed it to pre-show.
All right.
But yes, go ahead.
Anyway, no, I was going to say Zarya and Sol Ruka are a tag team.
Yes.
So I don't see that fucking happening. Kalani Jordan already won it.
She's getting called up too, so she's losing.
So that's not happening. So it comes down to Izzy Dame or Lola or the question mark.
Yep.
So I am thinking Lola for a second. But you know what? Izzy Dame getting fucking pushed by Shawn Spears.
I could see it. She'd be my second choice as well.
I'm gonna pick Izzy. I know that's a daring pick, but I'm gonna pick Izzy Dame.
No, I think that's a smart pick. I think I'm just picking with I Love Lola.
With your dick? Yeah.
No, I'm just picking with my I Love Lola. So I'm curious who the 6th person is going to be in, because just for context, there is a fatal 4-way tag team match to determine the number 1 contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships. It involves a lot of the women we thought might have been involved. It's Meta-4 versus Fatal Influence with Fallon, JC, or Jasmine, 2 of the 3. Gigi and Paxley, and then Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez are back together. So those are all the people trying to get in the ladder match. So I'm curious if they're purposely leaving the ladder match open and it'll be a surprise or something in return. But yeah, we don't have to predict that. But if I were to, I'd probably just pick Gigi and Tatum because I feel like they haven't done it yet, or did they? I don't know.
I mean, TJ put him in the predictions. So
yeah, because I think they just changed it to pre-show. We can pick it. Why not? It's the last one, Nestlemania.
Right.
I'll pick Gigi and Tatum. Why not?
Okay. It's a 3-way, huh?
Fatal 4-way.
Oh, who's the other? Oh, okay,
Meta-4, Fatal Influence, Gigi and Paxi, and then Cora and Roxanne.
So he didn't add Cora and Roxanne to this, so that's why I was a little confused. Maybe he's in it right now.
I would say they're probably not going to win unless if they're getting called up together as a tag team, which I doubt.
Well, that's where they're going, right? So
that's where Roxanne's going. Cora, who knows? She missed a lot of time with that injury, so they might not want to rush her up.
I'm gonna pick Gigi and Tatum as well, only because it's 3 heel tag teams there, and if Liv and Raquel hold on their heels, so that would be my thought.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, now that we've got through some of the confusing shit, we have number 1 contenders, and I'm glad this happened because they've been telling a story with it, and it paid off. Tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Fraxium, these undeniably best tag team of the past year and a half in wrestling, defend against, you ready, Nestlemania? Hank and Tank, baby! They were on a losing streak. They must have won this gauntlet or whatever. I'm happy because they've really put a lot of treatment into this. These guys, are they my favorite? No. It was the same thing as like Heavy Machinery. I was kind of a hater, and then they turned out to be really fun. These guys have something. They're never going to be my favorite. They're never going to be the best, but they have something. And I think they've done right by them, building them up as like this babyface team and getting the advice from all the main roster tag teams. And you know what, Nestlemania? I think it's time. I think Hank and Tank are going to win the fucking tag titles. Fraxium's beating everyone. They've beaten everyone. I think they've even beaten these guys. And at some point, they're probably going to get called up. They've had both these guys wrestling on the main roster. We know they can go. Everything has to end sometime, including this incredible Fraxium reign. I think it's ending with Hank and Tank. Give me Hank and Tank.
Oh my God. I can't believe that you put that out in the universe.
It's going to happen. It just feels right. It just feels right. They put a lot of fucking effort into this build. I can agree with me. You're gonna fucking agree with me.
No, you're doing a great sell job.
I was just talking it out loud. You think I go into these things knowing what I'm going to do? No, I like to talk it out because then I just go with what comes in my head.
I feel like there were so many other deserving teams.
They already beat all those teams, though. They've all had their spot. Hank and Tank have it, and Hank and Tank has been getting the story. They've been getting the story. And HBK is the best storyteller in the game, baby.
All right, I'll go Hank and Tank.
Yes! Honk, honk!
I feel like you're doing this to saddlebag me a little bit.
No, I legitimately think they're going to win. Like, legitimately, seriously think they're going to win because why else would they put us through all this months of shit and having them, you know what I mean? It just it makes sense. And it's fucking WrestleMania season. It's like the Indy Hartwell win. Like, you get these feel-good wins. So, especially in NXT, I think it's fun. And I think Fraxium's ready. Next up, singles match for the NXT North American Championship. I have an erection. Ricky Sanks defends his title against Ethan Page.
I have an erection.
This is a fucking great match. That's what I was hoping for. Ethan Page clearly won the number one contender. I'm picking Ricky Sanks, but Saints and Page on a takeover in NXT in a better company. Oh, my heart is full. But give me Ricky Sanks.
I'm also picking Ricky because I just feel like he just got the damn thing and they're just keeping the hand hot right now. So he's got to keep going.
I agree. Next up, Nestlemania. You ready for this one? Mm-hmm. This is the low point. 6-man tag match. The D'Angelo family. You know where I'm going with this.
This isn't even on here.
Well, because I think it just got added. I told you when I refreshed, it popped up.
Okay.
The D'Angelo family of Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and Luca Crucifino take on Dark State, where 3 of the 4 members of Dion Lennox, Cutler James, Saquon Sugars, and or Osiris Griffin will represent them. Look, they're teasing something here with Tony and Stacks, where it feels like there might be some sort of breakup. And Dark State, I think, needs all the wins they can get because I still think they're very retribution-y. And there isn't a lot of charisma going on quite yet for them. So, yeah, give me Dark State. They need it.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Dark State, too. And I don't think their night is ending after that. So,
you know how I feel about these types of angles, man. It's such a thin line. Such a thin line. We have 2 matches left, Nestlemania. We have a Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie Vaquer defends her championship against Julia, Jordan Grace, and doing the shoulder, our girl, Jada Parker. I mean, look, I want to come in here and be like, Jada Parker's winning the NXT Women's title because she fucking deserves it. She's a stud, one of the most improved wrestlers I've seen this past year. But it's fucking Vaquer season, man. Unless if they're calling her up tomorrow, there's no reason to take that strap off her shoulder. She'll be ready to go if they wait till summer or whatever. Julia being back for this match is interesting. I still think it seemed like they pulled it off for injury, and it seems like she's been able to get back. So I don't hate her being in this, but I don't feel like she's winning. Jordan Grace is probably going to get the thing eventually or get called up. I'm leaning more towards called up, and I think Vaquer is just going to retain here.
I think Stephanie Vaquer just got the damn thing. So, yeah, let's let her fucking cook with it. Simple as that.
Simple and easy. I'm excited for it. I think this one will be fun. Good mix here of talent. And then Nestlemania, speaking of a good mix of talent, I'm excited for this one. A triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Obafemi defends his title against the former champion Trick Williams. And I love that Javon Evans is in this match. Not only because I got a little guy doing flippy dippies with the big boy in there, the meat, but I just think Javon Evans is a guy who continues to surprise me. Every time I want to say he can't do something, he fucking proves me wrong. And I'm alluding to promos here because he's a very interesting cat. And he has a big personality. But I've been surprised at how good his promos have been in this feud. And I'm just like, where did that come from? And I look at the thing. How old is he? And he's that fucking sprinty? Man, he's bouncy. He ain't going to win here. He's probably eating a pin. It's good. It's Opa season, obviously. But I'm excited for this match. I think this is going to be a fucking banger.
So you're picking Oba?
I'm picking Oba. Come on, it's meat season.
So let me just throw this out at you.
Yes.
Okay. I know you picked Oba, and that's fine.
I did. I'm not going to change it, even if you make a good case, especially for Javon, who I would love to pick because I think that'd be super fun.
What are the chances in your brain? Like, I'm not saying like actually happening, but like percentage wise, that either Trick Williams or Javon are revealed as the leader of Dark State and they help them win?
I think it's more likely with the Trick Williams thing.
I think so too.
But they kind of like they attacked Trick finally.
Yeah, but you can do that with it. They powerbombed Eric Bischoff with the
like,
NWO.
To me, even if they weren't going to do it, I think the intrigue would have been to like do it another week where they kind of leave him alone, because then it really makes you think, and then they could swerve with something else.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of took that away, but I think it's definitely a possibility. I don't think they're going to do it though, because unless if they truly feel like Trick isn't ready for a call up, I don't know why he needs a heel run in NXT at this point. So
and if Javon becomes the leader of that, that's
does Javon scream heel to you at all?
No.
Especially at this point in his career where he's still finding his footing and new, and he's super over because his moveset, I mean, is completely babyface. The way he talks is completely babyface. Ethan Page just fucking made it so he couldn't eat for months. So yeah, I don't think it'd be Javon. I think if anyone, I think you're right, it's Trick. An even deeper thing would be if it was Oba, would be the swerve.
Well, I'm picking Oba either way, but I just want to put that in there because I feel like it's a foregone conclusion that Oba wins. But
we're carnivores. We want the meat, baby.
Dark State needs to get the fuck off my TV, though. I don't give a shit about any of these guys.
Yeah, it's a tough sell for me.
Anything close to wearing the color black, masks, you're sniffing.
The Shield did it.
The Shield did it better. Nothing can be better than the Shield. Nothing will be better than the Shield. So you might as well find something else. End of story.
It's always going to be in England wrestling. When I look at this faction, they don't make sense to me yet at all.
They don't get enough of a backstory.
I'm also watching Cutler James on LFG every week. And it's making it tough to digest because his storyline is still open in that too. Mm-hmm. It's just like, how did we get here? And then also the like handsome tall guy with the glasses was doing all the smart guy routine. And now I'm supposed to just believe that he just got angry and now he's hanging out and he's like,
something tells me somebody like bowed out of this and then they just threw him in there.
Well, no, I think it's one of those where they just like, I think they saw like, okay, this isn't working for this guy. He's big and I don't know. It's weird. I think they need to do a lot more work in explaining it to me. Like I'm 2 years old because I don't fucking get it. And I think it sucks. But then again, I'm also very scarred by Retribution because I told everyone how terrible it was every single week. And I tried to be patient and people tried to sell me on it. And it was fucking the worst thing of all time.
That wasn't me.
No, I'm just scarred forever by Retribution. So anytime I see something like this, I'm going to be skeptical.
Hey, bud, they can't hurt you anymore. Okay. Be positive.
People don't forget.
On that note, I think we've exhausted all of our options. So
enjoy WrestleMania, everyone. Tweet us or X us or whatever the fuck us your prediction.
Twix us, whatever.
Twix us, yeah. I'm always curious.
We should get some Twixes this Saturday or Sunday. I should get some.
I always like a Twix. You a right or a left guy?
I'm a left.
Yeah, I'm a right guy because I'm a righty. But I'll eat both. They taste kind of similar, right and left Twix.
A little bit. There's a little bit of difference if you really want to boil it down to it, but that's fine. Anyway, on that note, we hope that you enjoy WrestleMania, Stand and Deliver. Anything else this weekend? It's fucking Christmas for all. And I am excited, so I will see you next week. JC will see you next week for some more Jobber Knockery.
Jobber Knocker Roads.